What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Officer Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Wave 12 figures. So we have 5 figures in this wave today, and a lot of the cool figures at that. So first off, we have Barbecue and the Mad Marauders colors. Of course, we've already had like the normal Barbecue, so getting them in this like blue and green color outfit hopefully will be cool. And then we also have Covergirl, which she looks awesome figure-wise. It's weird that the picture is like cartoony, especially compared to Barbecue, where it seems more like gritty, realistic, than this seems more cartoony, but still cool to have those. And then behind that, we have a Crimson Bat, so another member of like the Crimson team, just a bat in the all red colors is cool. Then we have the normal Outback, so we had the Tiger Force version, now we have normal Outback, which looks cool. And then finally we have Falcon, so cool to get him to add to our Joes now as well. So we have 5 figures here, of course 3 of them are all repeats, and then we got 2 new of Falcon and Covergirl there, so pretty cool. Then hopefully they're pretty good figures and stuff. So let me get these out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Barbecue, whose real name is Gabriel Kelly, and we've already looked at him, so we don't need to go into a whole lot of details. We'll just show that comparison later on. But he's the fighter of the Joe's team, and this time he's just in a color redesign of the Slaughter's Marauders, but on the box they're calling it the Mad Marauders, where it just got this blue and green color. So he looks pretty cool, looks like Barbecue. I don't like it nearly as much with the colors, because, it doesn't seem as like firefighters and stuff, and seeing it outside of that looks pretty weird with like the head design, of course, as the face covering and the eye covering, and then the blue all around the head there coming down onto the chest, which transfers into the green, which I love the bright green and blue, but just like on the figure it's kind of contrasting there. And then darker colors underneath, so it almost looks like a darker brown maybe or something. It's hard to tell exactly like what the underbody is. And then it's got like darker almost green colors there, like on his chest plate and running down the legs and stuff, again transitioning into the blue there all the way down to the feet. And then it has some like darker colors. Again, I can't tell if it's the green or like a black or something. I can't really tell what color those are supposed to be, but looks just like the last one, just repainted this time. But let's do the movements. So the head can twist all the way around. It can look down a little and up a little, so not the best. It just looks up more, but it can't look down any further there. It's actually kind of stuck, so if you force it, it can get down that far at least. So there's some movements there. You just got to get the head to move back and forth. Then we get the shoulders that can come up. They feel really stiff, but can come up at least that far, so close to 90, and rotate all the way around. And it should have a butterfly joint in there. Again, with it being so stiff, not sure, but yeah, it goes back and forth just a little bit. But then we get the bicep twist that can twist around, the double elbow joint that can bend up at least that far, and then the wrist can twist around and flex, should be up and down, yeah, for this hand. And then we go to the ab crunch, which who knows what we can do with all the vest piece on here and stuff, but he does crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Feels like it's mostly at the waist in there. And then we get the hips that can come up to 90 and out to the side, can do the splits, of course, with the normal joints on the G.I. Joes, kind of flop around in there and you got to push them back up in. We get a thigh twist that can twist around pretty stiff, so it's not twisting the best, but it does twist around there. And then we get the double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, pretty much kicking his butt. We have a shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall, he works pretty well, and I've been having issues more recently with the G.I. Joes, like I've mentioned before, and if you watch the videos, like the first couple waves I had some issues with, especially trying to get them stand up and get their legs and feet to work out and stuff to be able to stand, and then they got really good, and I was really happy with the Joes, and now they've sort of transitioned back again, so I'm starting to have more issues, and then just other minor newer issues and stuff that will go through this video. But the only real issue I have with him is just like the gaps there around his hips, which I know obviously if you have them down like that it's even worse, but pushing them in, does help a little, but it just still seems like they're a little bit too much gap and room there around in the crotch, so it just looks a little bit awkward. But overall, Barbecue works just fine, so nothing wrong there, just if you want him in this collar design. But then we get accessories for him. So first, since he's a firefighter, we do have his extinguisher tank backpack. So we got the backpack with the extinguisher tanks, the little logos. I can't really get them to focus in on there, but nice overall backpack design with the black and stuff. And then we have a hose connecting into an extinguisher gun there, so we have that gun. So let's go and pop this into his back, so it sticks on his back like that. And then we have the extinguisher that we can obviously put into his hand. We can take the gun piece and slide it down into the holster here, so it sticks like that, so you can have that off of him like that, which is pretty cool. But let's go and just stick this into his hand for now. So there's the extinguisher in his hand, so now he's got that. He can be putting out fires. And then we also get some cool weapons. We get an axe, so we have a large axe, which looks really cool, big awesome design with the long black handle. Nice silver blade there, so we can obviously put this into his hands. We can store it on his backpack, so he's got the little grip piece on back there, so you can store it around back here so it has it for accessibility, or like I said, we can put it into his hands. Let's try that. So there's the axe in his hand, and then he also comes with a hatchet as well, so pretty cool looking small little axe with the guard on the front of it, so that looks really cool. And with this, we can stick it into the holder piece here right on the front of his leg, so you can just kind of stick that down in there like that, so he's always got that clipped on there as well. So that looks really cool for barbecue there in the Mad Marauders design. And as I mentioned, of course, we've already had him in the normal barbecue design, and again, the design I would much more prefer, so this is the barbecue I care for much more. But both look pretty cool, you know, exactly the same figure, just in different color designs. But I love the normal color design for him compared to this Mad Marauders version, but still a decent figure just if you like the colors. And next up we have Covergirl, whose real name is Courtney Krieger, and she's a former fashion model that turned an army mechanic with a specialty in armored fighting vehicles, so like tanks and stuff. And she looks awesome here all around, so just looks like, you know, a girl, not very different from like Lady J and everything, but looks pretty decent. So there's her face. Of course, with their new face printing and stuff, doesn't look the best. The face looks fine on her, like it's not horrible, but the lips just look like way too much, and then the eyes just look kind of blurry and like they're not dead on, almost like she looks drunk or something. But the face isn't horrible for compared to other figures we'll see, but then her hair's there like all swept back, and she's got the shorter haircut and stuff, so that looks just fine there. And then she's got like a bomber jacket on over top, so I love the fur around the collar. Nice logo there. It almost looks like a bird. It's hard to tell what that is, but it almost looks like a bird. And then just the overall leather jacket design going into the fingerless gloves, and then she's got the tan shirt underneath going into a little bit darker of tan pants, belt around the waist with all sorts of pockets and contraptions around there, some thigh holsters, and the boots down on her feet, and all of it just looks fine. Just a lot of tan and brown and stuff going on here with a little bit of pop of green like on her belt and stuff there, but overall she looks decent. But we can do the movement, so her head can twist around, so she does have the two neck pieces up and the head itself that we can get the twist around. It's a little bit hard there, but it can twist around, and then at the lower neck as well, and with both of those she can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent movements in the neck. The shoulders can come up to 90, should have the butterfly joint, but it's hidden by the jacket, but back and forth there, and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint. So she's a newer body, so she has the pinless joints and everything, can bend all the way up on itself there, and the wrist can twist around and flex up and down for this hand. Then we get the ab crunches, so hers is right under her chest, so she can crunch back and forth and twist around. And then she should also have it at the waist as well, so crunch back and forth and twist around there. And then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side. Once again, can do the splits, but the drop down hips, so pop them up. And then we get a thigh twist, which again is real stiff on her, so you can get it to twist, but it's hard to twist all the way around. And then can line the joints up there, the double knee joint that bends up that far to the back at least, so further from kicking her butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So once again, pretty decent movements, a little bit worse movements than the barbecue, which is kind of funny, except for in the elbows there. And it's nice having the pinless joints in the elbows, but with her thin female joints, I feel they'll get damaged pretty easily, but we'll just have to work around that. And once again with her, she's not the easiest to stand up, but don't really have too many issues. She does stand pretty decent, just a little bit of minor issues. And then we get a bunch of accessories for her. So first we have a data pad, so a little data pad with a tank on it, so like a tank she's working on or something, so that's pretty cool. And we have a little holder here down on her thigh that we can slide this down into, so it slides down in like that, and you have to have it facing outward because there's this little indentation piece here in the bottom that fits with the pad, so it slides down on there and sits perfectly down inside, so that's cool. We have that holder. And since she is a mechanic, she also comes with a wrench, so we could obviously put this in her hand if we wanted, but just a nice big wrench there. And she does have a holder here on the back of her belt, so we can slide that down into here just like that. And then for weapons, first we get a pistol, so nice black pistol with silver on top of it, so looks pretty decent there. And we can stick this into the holder here on her right thigh, so it sits down in there. And finally she comes with a shotgun, so we get a nice pump action shotgun there. Looks pretty decent with the mostly all black but green there on the pump and stuff, so looks pretty cool. So let's pop this in her hands. And there's Covergirl with the shotgun now, so there she's all kitted out. And once again, I love with the Joes that you can pretty much store all their accessories, at least for her she's able to store them all, so that is really cool. And overall she looks good. I wish the face looked a little bit better, like just like I said, it's probably that face printing design they have now just seemed to mess up on these Joes, and like I said, we'll see it worse later, but overall it just seems pretty fine with her there with that shotgun in her hand stuff. And I love that she came with the data pad and the range and everything, showing part of her specialty and stuff, but overall she looks relatively decent, so no major complaints for her. And next up, we have the Crimson Bat, which we've looked at bats multiple times, but bats are battle android troopers that are cheap and easy to replace troopers created by Dr. Mindbender, and these ones specifically belong to the elite troopers of the Crimson Guard led by Tomax and Zaymont. So as I said, we've looked at bats multiple times now, and I'll show you those so you know we've had a bunch of them, but yeah, just pretty much the same, just all in red this time, so part of the Crimson Troopers. So love the red helmet with the silver visor piece. I love the darker red, like maroon color, almost brown there, like up on the shoulders and stuff, like going down there. I love the printing on the front with the Cobra logo. It looks like it's model number 3 there from 2022, which is cool. Some nice gas canisters, looks like logos on the side, so maybe like the Crimson logo there on the side and the Cobra logo there, and of course the robotic arms going down, and the red continues down the body all the way to the legs. And like I said, pretty much the exact same figure once again, just a repeat, painted red this time. So for movements, get the head that can twist all the way around, and it should have the twist around neck, but it just seems pretty stationary there. But you look down that far and up that far, so nice movement back and forth. Shoulders can come up to 90 with the butterfly joint and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, and then we get the double elbow joint, which we do have the joint there at the top and the bottom that work together, the fold all the way up on itself, so that's cool. And then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunches, so right in the middle there, so crunch forward and crunch back a little, so nice crunching there. And then we have it at the waist as well, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. So I hate the hips like this where you can see so much like indentation stuff, and I wish they just filled in a little bit more in there. But then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side, of course drop down, push back up, thigh twist again, but real stiff as well, so can't do it too much. And the double knee joint that is also really stiff but can bend up that far at least. We have a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So as expected, has the exact same joints as the other bats, so nothing real different there. And of course we'll get the same accessories as well, so we get damage accessories, so we have a damaged head, so you can see part of the head's all damaged and eye exposed there, as well as a damaged chest plate, so same thing, just all damaged and shot up. And then we get the same other accessories, so we get their backpack piece that we can put on the back to store all of the accessories it comes with, so pop this in on the back like that, so we can store all of his arm accessories now because the arms can switch out. So he's got a normal arm with just like the normal hand on there, but we get additional hands, so we get a flamethrower hand, so that looks really cool with the flamethrower design. We get the claw gripper hand, and then we have the laser hand as well, that shoots a little laser out. So let's maybe try this one. So there, he's got the laser on his hands, and with those other hands we can then store them in the back of the backpack here. So the claw hand I always tend to just put on the outside, so they just pop right in there. Then we can take the flamethrower in the hand and pop them in the other holes. So there, they all stored on the backpack there, so we don't lose those. And finally, he does come with a pistol as well, so we get a nice little pistol design, so it looks relatively nice and overall there. We can of course stick this down into the thigh holster, so it just slides down in the holster there, or we can put it into this hand here. So there he has the pistol as well as his laser hand, so he's definitely ready for battle. And with these being army builders, we do have 2 of them, so we went and put the damage stuff on this other one. So there we have 2 of the Crimson Bats, and then we have all the other bats we can bring in. So we have the normal bat and then the Python Patrol bat as well. So we have 3 forms of the bats so far, of course, nice easy repaints. So we have 3 different bats there, and then of course we can put them in with the Crimson Guard. So we have our Crimson Twins and our other Crimson Guard members there, so we can fill out more of that Crimson Guard, which is pretty cool. So awesome to have the bat throw in here, but again, it's just another bat, so nothing real spectacular, just in red this time. And next up we have Outback, which we've had before, but this time we have normal Outback, and his real name is Stuart Selkirk, and he's the instructor of the survival school and jungle warfare training, and he can survive in just about any situation with minimal resources. And he has the survival acronym on his shirt, which stands for size up any situation, undo haste makes waste, remember where you are, vanquish fear and panic, improve your situation, value living, act like the natives, and learn basic skills. So all of those courses for survival there, so pretty cool. It has the all white shirt with survival, and just face wise with the beard and red hair and all that sort of stuff, and the bandana reminds me a lot of Chuck Norris, so just like from one of the older Chuck Norris movies and stuff is what he looks like there, which is pretty cool. And then he's got the camo pants, so nice camo pants, you know, with the white shirt. Seems a good connection there with the belt and harness and stuff there around on him to hold different guns and stuff, gloves on his hands, holsters on his thighs, and then down on the boots as well there, the black boots. So overall he looks really cool. I love this design stuff. We do have an issue with this figure of this arm. We can raise it up, but then trying to get it back down is almost impossible, and we can only get it to go down that far as compared to this arm, that's pretty much all the way flat. So we have an issue in the shoulder somewhere with this arm that fights with us a lot, so pretty annoying with that. But the rest of him looks really good. It's a real nice looking character design. But let's do the movement. So his head can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so good movements there in the neck. The shoulders can come up to 90 with the butterfly joints, so nice big movements in there, and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, almost all the way up on itself, with the wrist that can twist around and flex back and forth for this hand, so he must be a lefty. And then we get the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch forward, crunch back, nice crunching again at the waist as well, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side, thigh twist, still real stiff, but the best movement so far we can get around in there. The double knee joint, that's again going to be stiff, but we can bend up that far to the back. We get a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So once again, pretty decent movement. So we have some issue with stiffness in the joints, as you saw, but then we also have looseness, like especially in like the waist and stuff. So he tends to crunch forward and twist around and stuff in there. So it's weird that we have some issues with stiffness and then some issues with looseness. So just kind of weird combination. Wish everything was just all one thing or the other. But then the issue with the arm that it won't go down fully and stuff is annoying. But overall, he looks cool. I love the design for him here. Just love his more basic design stuff, and he looks really cool. So I like the figure overall. But then we get a bunch of accessories. So first we have his backpack. So we have a survival backpack filled with stuff to the rim. You can see all the stuff's all packed full. And then we get a little shovel as well that's stuck on the side there. So we have that shovel, and we can pop this into his back. So there's that backpack on there. A little bit hard to get in because the peg wouldn't want to go through his harness piece. So that caused some issues, but there he's got the backpack on. And then we get a lot of like additional accessories. So first we get a knife. So nice big like Bowie knife, looks really cool there. We can stick this down into the holster on his boot down there, so it fits in. We also get a flashlight. So one of the old flashlight designs with the stick with the light out to the side. So we have that we can stick into the thigh holster, so it can stick on this thigh there. We of course get a pistol with him, so we have a pistol, like the tape around the handle and stuff. So looks pretty good overall. I love the accessories and stuff, but this can go into his other thigh holster that fits down in there. And then finally we can give his main gun of his submachine gun. So looks pretty cool. Nice little gun, nice big magazine. We can of course pop out and everything. And I love like the foregrip and the scope and everything on top there. So that looks pretty cool. So we're gonna put this into his hand. So there's the gun in his hand, and as I mentioned by his hand layout, he is left-handed there. So we got the gun in his left hand. Of course, doesn't really fit or work too well. It's hard to get him like really posed up with it and everything, but there he's got the gun in his hand. And as I mentioned, we have already had Outback before from the Tiger Force, so we can bring that version in. And I like this, how he's like the older style and stuff, so he looks much older and everything there. So we have the two versions of Outback. Definitely love this Outback though much more, just because I love the color design with the white shirt and the camo, and then like the red hair and everything just stands out a little bit more, and overall looks pretty cool for his design. So definitely like this version of Outback much more. And our final figure is definitely the worst of the wave, and it is Falcon, whose real name is Vincent Falcon, and he was a Green Beret that served in the infantry as well as a medic and fluent in many languages. And overall, like body-wise and stuff, he looks just fine, not much different than say like Flynn's stuff, like body outfit design, but that face is just absolutely horrible. Like it just looks like so bad, and I hate it, especially we take the hat off with his hair mixed in there. It just looks so bad. I don't know what they did. Like the mouth just looks huge, and then it almost looks like he's got lipstick on and stuff. It just looks so bad. Like I can't explain it. And then we tried to compare and like see about switching the heads out with other stuff. We tried like Flint and everything and Duke, and just their heads are so much smaller compared to his as well. So it's like his head is massive. Like they just like exploded his face or something to make it so big and looks so weird and creepy. And the eyes are like a much brighter color than any other figure and stuff. It just looks so weird. His hair overall looks just fine, like especially for like being in the military and stuff, with the shaved side with a little bit longer on top, but just like with the face and stuff, it just looks so weird and creepy. So the putting the hat on it does work a little bit better, at least helps cover up some of it, but it's still just that face. I don't know what they did like with that mouth and stuff. It's just so weird. But then he has like the thing around his neck, I don't know, it looks like an ascot, but I don't know if it's supposed to be anything more specifically, with almost like a camo green sort of button up shirt there underneath, and I have the sleeves rolled all the way up with some straps going around there. I love there's just designs of knives and pockets and everything around there on that. Going into the camo pants movements that match with the shirt all the way down to the boots. They have the green covering over the top and like black boots there, which the boots look really big and clunky as well, like the feet look really big. So it's just a weird and awkward figure for this, just all the way around. But we'll try his movements. So his head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so good movements back and forth. Shoulders can come up to 90 with that butterfly joint back and forth and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so again pretty much all the way up on itself. The wrist can twist around and flex up and down for this hand, and then we get the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch there forward, crunch back, so you can crunch within the straps there, and then should be able to crunch at the waist and twist around there as well. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Again, you got to push the hips up in there. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that's going to be real stiff on him, but can bend up that far to the back, and again real stiff. You can see some like issues with the joints and stuff in there, so really bad for that. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth. Again, real stiff on the foot as well. So it does flex back and forth. It's just real stiff, and then can twist side to side. So all the joints were pretty decent for him until we got to the knee, and from there lower down it was a little bit of issue. So body wise isn't horrible, like I said, just that face. So we just need to find a different face to put on him, or hopefully if they give us another form of Falcon, it'll have a better face and we can buy 2 of those and switch it out for this. This just looks so horrible, and of course I've seen that's the same sentiment like going around online. It just looks so bad, and when they released the pictures of it, it looked bad and stuff. So don't know what they did to the face there, but yeah, it just looks horrible. So definitely need to switch that head out. But then accessory wise, first we get his backpack. So nice green backpack. I love all the like the rope and canteens and stuff. It has a knife in it as well, so we get a knife in there that's stored away, and then a nice long antenna piece there, so it's like he's got communication stuff going on, so we can pop this into his back. So there's the backpack on him there, and then the only weapon he comes with is a pump action shotgun again, and it has the folded up piece, so it's really cool that we get the back here that folds out, and then the back piece here keeps falling off. I don't know why. It doesn't look like the grip or anything's damaged and stuff, but it just like barely holds on, so it just keeps falling off, so we can't really get it to function very well as that. And I love how it's got some extra rounds and stuff, at least it looks like there. So it's cool that we can have it folded up and stuff. So let's put this into his hand. So there's the shotgun in his hand. It's really hard to get in his hand, so he has the both hands with the hinges, so we could put the gun in either hand, but with that it doesn't hold on to the shotgun very well, so it's hard to get it in his hands any better than that. So it looks very awkward, just a lot of awkwardness about with the face, the way the straps sit up high, can't get him to sit down any lower on him, and then the way he holds the shotgun and stuff. So just a lot of awkwardness around this figure overall. So just something's made different about him that's just a bit awkward and weird, but overall not a horrible, I can't say it's the absolute worst figure ever. It just definitely needs many improvements, so hopefully they'll release him in a different version and improve it and stuff, and maybe we can transfer some stuff over. But yeah, definitely not the best figure out of this wave. Well, that's going to be it for Wave 12 of the G.I. Joe Classified Series figures, where we had a lot of cool figures in this wave. Now, just things how disappointed I am with them. Like, I was really liking the Joes for quite a while, and then all of a sudden, like with more recent waves, they just started to have a lot more issues and stuff, and starting to feel more disappointed with the Joes. But it was cool to at least get Covergirl and then the normal version of Outback, as well as Falcon. I just wish he looked a little bit better and functioned overall better. And then the barbecue, like I said, is fine if you just want to like start the Mad Marauders group or whatever, but we have the normal barbecue, so that's just fine. And then just getting a Crimson Bat. You know, I'm getting bored of the bats because we have so many of them, but not bad figures overall. Just they could definitely all use some improvements. But let me know what you thought of these down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, let me know a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.